vulnerability by definition is a negative word. I mean, it means that there's a possibility of being harmed or attacked. So why do we ask people to be vulnerable? For me, vulnerability has never been something I wanted to do or be. Because why would I put myself out there or open myself up to other people's scrutiny, judgment, feedback when I'm hard on myself? So what's the point? So this year, I have been challenged in many ways to be more vulnerable. And let me say, it was not easy. Um, Earlier this year, back in January, I was invited to go to California with my sister for a women in business retreat. And I thought, okay, that'd be cool. I'll go and support her because I have no business. I have no passion for business, any of that. I'm more of a supportive person. So I figured I would go and assist, assist her and learn what she does because I was assisting her with her site and her business. And yeah, I agreed to go. However, I did everything in my power to not go, basically. Even though I paid for my ticket and everything, I said, okay, I'm going to go to this retreat, but I'm not going to go to any of the sessions. I'm just going to go hang out on the beach. After all, it is California. I can use a vacation. Um, there also we were rooming with like 9 other women, and I knew no one but my sister really. And I'm like, well, I don't know anybody. What's the point in going, to this place where these people may not even like me? I can just stay at home and keep my money in my pocket. I came up with everything possible to not go on this trip. However, a few weeks before going to California, um, I was just kind of reflecting and doing some voice recordings of my thoughts. And God revealed to me a plan for my future and a ministry, if you will. And after I got done with that recording, I said, okay, I'm ready to go to California. Had no clue what was going to happen in California. Still had a little bit of reservation about going, but I went. And let me tell you, it was the best thing I've ever done. Again, going to this retreat for women in business, and I'm not business minded. I would consider myself more of an introvert. I do like to talk. However, I have to be warmed up to do that or be in a situation where I'm comfortable. So I go to this retreat, and like the first day of the retreat, one of the first exercises was basically we partner with these women, and they look at you and they say, the leader I see in you is. And I was terrified of doing this exercise because here are these people who don't know me. So here I am. I have to be vulnerable. I have to accept whatever it is that they say. Well, maybe not accept, receive it, what they say, but also I had to speak that about somebody else. And like, how do you possibly do that about a person you don't know? And it was by far the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I just looked the person in their eyes and just felt their spirit and was able to say, the leader I see in you is whatever. And there were 3 women that we did the exercise with, and they were pretty spot on who I was. And it was really awesome to be able to receive what they saw. Because oftentimes we have our own opinions have our own opinions and personification of who we are and what we feel. And that's not always what looks back at us in the mirror or what we portray out to the world. It's not indicative necessarily of the light that God has placed in us. So that was really awesome. I mean, it was like a 4-day event. There was a lot of things that happened there. I was able to share with other women the vision that God had provided me, not really knowing where to go, what I was going to do, or whatever. But I made some really awesome contacts at the time, and a lot of people were like very supportive of what I'm trying to do. And I won't go into all of that today, but you know, in the future, the near future, I will be revealing what it is that God has called me to do, and hope that you know you guys will partner with me on that journey, because it's definitely going to be a journey of vulnerability for everyone involved. Just wanted to say, from this trip to from this trip to California, I have learned that vulnerability can really be positive. It is a risk, but it's a risk worth taking. My community has grown. I have such a great foundation of women and people in my life who support me wholeheartedly, you know, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you know, the whole nine. And I wouldn't have that if I wasn't vulnerable and allowed people to pour into my life, and everything. I mean, I'm part of a mastermind group, which I never would have thought I would be do anything like that really, where I would be sitting there and exchanging ideas with women that I don't know actually. I've come to know them over the time of the group, and you know, I have become more involved in church, and I have made new friends. And honestly, when I turned 30, I said, hey, I've met everyone in my life that I need to meet as far as people in my inner circle. And here I am now, 38, and you know, I've welcomed in so many more people this year. So with that, I wanted to say that vulnerability can be positive, and also just that we do control the flow of our lives, and you know who comes in and who goes out. So if you would approach vulnerability like as a door, and you have the ability to keep your door open, keep your door closed, or to open that door, or you also have the ability to control how far to open that door. That's vulnerability. And think about how much stuff, if you keep that door closed, how much stuff you're not allowing in, but also what you're allowing to stay within your space. How much negativity, you know, self-hate, you know, insecurity, all of that that's staying within because you're not opening the door to let it out. So, and then on the converse of that, what if you open the door? You know, of course, we open the door too wide, we tend to get people we don't want, you know, or may not be useful to our journeys. But, you know, that's where discernment comes in. So I just wanted to do this quick video to just kind of share my experience and hesitation with vulnerability, and how actually being vulnerable has changed my life. It has made me a better person. It's made me more receptive to the changes in my life, and also has opened me up to so many creative ideas and approaches to things that I've seen my whole life. And you know, and most of all, I've gotten to meet these fantastic people, who again are pouring into my life. I'm able to pour into theirs. There's growth on all sides, and everything. So I would just encourage everyone to take a risk. It doesn't have to be every situation in your life, you know, but think of something today that maybe you've been shying away from because you're scared of what someone's gonna say, or how they're gonna react, you know, what kind of judgment they're gonna have against you. And I just encourage you to take that first step and be vulnerable. Thank you.